Hello everybody, this is my second or third take on this video. I actually recorded this on Thursday the 10th of April. It's now Friday the 11th of April. I'm having trouble uploading things onto YouTube, so it may be a couple days before I upload it. I'm telling you this because I'm going to read something from the Figure 4 weekly newsletter. So it might be a bit out of date. Some further developments might have happened. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't have. But I'm just saying as a precautionary thing, if a news story comes up later, whatever. It's about TNA. I'll read what Brian Alvarez has written. I also recommend you subscribe to the newsletter. It's only $7 a month. Dave Meltzer has confirmed that TNA is on its way to being profitable in 2008. This means they will not lose money this year, but they're still perhaps decades away from making up the $35 million or so they've lost in their first 5 years. Nothing has changed in terms of pay-per-view buys, but they've cut costs, some of which have been positive, some of which have made life more difficult for the undercard wrestlers who aren't making any money to begin with. If you factor in money made from Spike, money made from international TV distribution, money made from house shows, money made from merchandising and their upcoming midway video game, etc., they've gotten to the point where they're self-sustaining. That's good. Next step is to get someone to write Impact who has a clue, because they've shown that they have the potential to do as many as 60,000 buys for shows, yet they've dipped below 20,000 several times in the past 12 months because Impact is an utter failure of a television show. Doing 60,000 buys as opposed to 18,000 buys is a difference of $504,000 per month, or $6 million per year. They've lost about $7 million per year, so if Impact would be as effective as it has been effective on at least one verified occasion, they can make enough per year to virtually make up what they've lost in their entire history since their inception. The story is actually a blessing and a curse. The good news is that TNA is not going out of business anytime soon and will allow a lot of guys to make a living in pro wrestling. The bad news is that since it's self-sustaining and since TV ratings, while not growing, are at least steady, Dixie Carter is in no hurry to replace Vince Russo and company, meaning it could literally be years of awful programming that we're going to have to sit through. Now, I'll talk about the buy rates. Actually, first thing I'll talk about this. Nobody on YouTube that I've seen, no users, no prominent users, nobody with over 200 or so that I've seen, I may have missed somebody, has brought this up. Nobody has said TNA making money. I'm not a TNA lemming or anything like that, but I'm bringing this up because nobody else has, or nobody in my knowledge has. Why? I don't know. When other companies do good things, other people bring this up. I think one of the few people to actually bring something like this up was Crazy Mike when he spoke about how good TNA's house shows were, which was nice, a refreshing change. But nobody brought this up. I don't think so anyway. And once again, sorry if I missed you if you did bring it up. So it really does show there's a certain amount of bias here on YouTube from some users. Maybe they just didn't know. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty big news story. I mean, one of the main arguments against TNA is they're not making any money, they're shit, it means they're shit, all that crap. And now that they are, you'd think people would come on. It proves me wrong on some arguments I've had with people. I've said, TNA is blah, 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 and, I was wrong in some arguments I made, but it also proves me right in the actual newsletter itself that I was right about a few things when it comes to pay-per-view buys, because that's one of the things I focus on the most. Now, I'll talk about Impact. Now, I was in the United States last year when lockdown was coming up, and they really sold that pay-per-view to me. I had to stay up pretty late, and I was a bit jet-lagged when I first started watching it, so I couldn't. I think I may have missed a couple episodes, but I still was able to catch, enough that I bought the pay-per-view. It sold it to me with a 1-hour TV show, with less big names, on a worse time slot, and all that bullshit. Because pretty much, I think at 11 at night or 10 at night or whatever, I was only just getting up for some strange reason. I don't even think that was right. I was just so fucking tired most of the time, and I really didn't change my habits very much while I was there. But anyway, they sold me that pay-per-view with a 1-hour TV show. Now they've got a 2-hour TV show, and it started airing in Australia, so it really is. I can compare the two, and it's also on a bad time slot here, Saturday night, fucking 10 o'clock. Yeah, they know their fucking audience. Anyway, and I've been able to focus more on Impact now, because I bought pay-per-views on, watching them on a computer. If you're watching something on a computer or via stream, you lose, you don't pay as much attention. You go and do other things on the computer because you can't even really listening to it. But now I'm focusing on it, and I'm still not interested in buying. With a 2-hour show, they have more time to sell, and I'm still not interested in buying Lockdown. And this is a big problem for TNA. They're, as displayed by, getting the 2-hour Impact in prime time, and then they did the live episode. To me, it feels like they're doing more to promote Impact than they are to promote their pay-per-views, which, is really sad, because, as I read in the newsletter, that's a big difference financially. They could make a lot of money back from it. Now, I'd say Lockdown will probably do about 25,000 buys, maybe 30, because it is one of their major pay-per-views. But if they're not making the convert, like, I think 1.2 would be, or 1.1 would be about 1.5 million viewers. Now, to do the 10% they would have to do would be 150,000, but they're not even getting 50,000, which is sad, and their conversion rate is a lot lower than WWE, and they've got, I'd say that they have more loyal fans than WWE does. But the thing is, as I said, they're not selling the pay-per-views enough. It's like they're trying to get TV ratings up in the hopes that it will bring buy rates up. When with the audience they have, they could easily get 50,000 a pay-per-view. I think that wouldn't be too much to ask. I don't feel anyway. And even 150 would be a bit much. I think they could do over 100 for their bigger pay-per-views like Bound for Glory, Slammiversary. But 50,000 pay-per-view really isn't too much to ask. If they could do that, they'd make a lot of money, and they'd be more successful. But of course, they're trying to get the TV ratings up. As I said, with all the promotion they're doing for Impact and not their pay-per-views, to get higher TV ratings for bragging rights, I guess. Like it's this Monday Night Wars fucking mentality. If we can get higher ratings than WWE on something, that means we're better than them at something. When, the Monday Night Wars was just the fucking TV ratings. What actually determined the winner and the loser was how much money they made, and how much money they made was determined more by pay-per-view buy rates, show attendances, bullshit like that. They should be focusing on making more money by, hyping up their pay-per-views more and getting higher buy rates. I think house show attendances is better than I thought it would be. And that makes them a lot of money, so really, and then house shows are doing very well. All they really need to do now is get those buy rates up. I mean, there are WWE shows where there are more people in attendance at them than there are pay-per-view buy rates for some of TNA's pay-per-views. Now, their pay-per-views are better than Impact is. Okay, their pay-per-views aren't anything special, but I'd still choose to watch a TNA pay-per-view any day of the week over TNA Impact. So really, they should be trying to get those fans to watch pay-per-views, get them in the habit of buying these pay-per-views. They're not doing that. That's why Impact is an utter failure of a show. It's something I agree with Brian Alvarez on. I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but I agree with him on it's probably 75% of the time I agree with him. But they could do so much better than fucking 20,000, 25,000, 30. Even their highest pay-per-view buy rates for last year were 37,000, and I thought fucking Bound for Glory and all these other pay-per-views should be doing close to 50, 60. And it's because Impact just isn't selling those pay-per-views to the people. They aren't selling the pay-per-views to me. I have no interest in seeing them because Impact doesn't. I watch Impact, but Impact doesn't make me feel like watching them, which is the purpose of having a weekly TV show. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.